The ongoing United Auto Workers or UAW strike in the United States, which has been happening for over a week, may have made you wonder about its impact on Tesla, given that Tesla is one of the American car manufacturers. Today, we'll discuss the relationship between union strikes and Tesla. This event also highlights Elon Musk's role. Despite being controversial, many of his recent decisions seem to benefit Tesla. We'll explore the advantages that currently set Tesla apart from other car manufacturers and how these advantages might continue to grow. So, if you don't want to miss any of these details, keep watching the video. Exploring the ongoing United Auto Workers strike. We've all probably noticed that labor union protests and strikes are becoming increasingly common in both Europe and America. However, this strike is on a massive scale as it involves three major traditional American car companies: Ford, GM or General Motors, and Stellantis, which is the parent company of Chrysler. The origins of labor unions in Europe and America can be traced back to the Industrial Revolution when workers faced harsh conditions, long hours, and low wages. We realized the strength of unity and collective bargaining, which made it easier for us to negotiate for better conditions. This ultimately led to the growth of labor unions. Labor unions in Asia and Europe, a comparison. Now shifting our focus to Asia, labor unions developed later and are not as mature as their European and American counterparts. For instance, in Taiwan, issues like excessively long working hours still persist. The maturity of the labor union system has its advantages and disadvantages, and our common approach to dealing with employers is through strikes. We recall a few years ago when we were traveling in Europe, we had to make extra allowances in our plans due to concerns about major strikes affecting railways and other transportation services. It's quite a common occurrence in Europe. The United Auto Workers strike. The United Auto Workers or UAW announced a breakdown in negotiations with the three major American car companies: Ford, General Motors or GM, and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler. They initiated a strike that involved a total of 13,000 workers beginning on the 15th of this month. This strike is remarkable because it's the first time it has simultaneously impacted all three car companies since the establishment of the UAW 88 years ago, attracting significant attention. Key demands of the United Auto Workers in the strike. As of August this year, factory workers' average hourly wage stands at $28, which is only $1 higher than the same period last year, barely keeping up with inflation. Additionally, they demand the elimination of the two-tier wage system. The United Auto Workers' substantial demands. The UAW's demands are significant amidst the ongoing United Auto Workers strike. They argue that the major American car manufacturers like Ford and Stellantis have seen considerable profit growth. The UAW emphasizes the workers' relatively disadvantaged position and calls for improved health insurance, retirement benefits, and nearly a 40% wage increase. However, such a substantial wage adjustment is unprecedented and could jeopardize the company's financial stability. Understandably, the employers have not accepted these demands, leading to the ongoing strike. Political figures and their stance on labor unions. In the labor union debate, President Joe Biden strongly supports labor unions. He recently made history by personally joining the United Auto Workers strike in Detroit, marking the first time a U.S. president has directly supported a strike. In contrast, Elon Musk, who tends to help the employers, openly opposes labor unions. Musk has consistently disapproved of union formation and even terminated employees who supported it. In response to the current labor union strike, he tweeted that the union's demand for a 40% wage increase and a 32-hour work week could potentially drive Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler toward bankruptcy. Tesla's potential amidst labor union strikes. Amidst this labor union strike, viewers have wondered if it could benefit Tesla. However, the strike is unlikely to have a short-term advantage for Tesla. It has predominantly affected traditional car production lines, with electric vehicles experiencing a relatively more minor impact. Nonetheless, the hardest hit entities will be the targeted companies. Reflecting on the 2019 UAW called strike against General Motors, it resulted into a 40-day factory closure, a 300,000 vehicle production decline, and a direct $3.6 billion profit loss. While Tesla is not directly linked to these strikes, its cost-saving strategies have influenced the decisions of the three traditional automakers. Tesla's innovative cost reduction strategy. In recent automotive developments, Tesla stands out as other car manufacturers grapple with potential cost increases. The latest report from Shanghai Securities News reveals that Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory has implemented single-piece casting technology, streamlining production. Reporters witnessed the Model Y rear floor assembly being produced as a single piece, improving efficiency and reducing labor requirements. The single-piece casting technology reduces the vehicle's body system weight by 10%, leading to a remarkable 40% cost reduction, surpassing expectations. This marks a promising shift in manufacturing efficiency for electric vehicles. Cybertruck delivery event approaches. The much-anticipated Cybertruck's delivery event is imminent, though the date remains undisclosed. Preparations for the event are already underway, with a forum user sharing images of the Cybertruck delivery team's attire. The impending event suggests that invitations may be issued in a few days. Questions have arisen regarding the Cybertruck's size and whether it can fit in a standard garage. Recent footage from San Francisco showed the Cybertruck fitting into a seemingly narrow garage, dispelling size concerns. Kia's EV9, a competitive EV option. For those seeking alternatives to the Cybertruck, Kia has announced pricing for its new EV9 in the United States, offering an attractive option with ample interior space. Korean automakers like Kia have made notable strides in the electric vehicle segment, with the Kia EV6 enjoying success in Taiwan. Priced at nearly $55,000, the EV9 competes favorably with models like the Tesla Model X and the Rivian R1S SUV, catering to families looking for a spacious and reasonably priced electric vehicle. Expanding choices in the EV market. The EV9 is a market-friendly solution for those who find the Model Y too small and the Model X too expensive. Expected to be available in the United States in the fourth quarter, sightings of the vehicle being tested on Taiwan's roads indicate a potential release before year-end. And that completes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed learning the incredible updates of Tesla models. Which of them are you most excited about? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content such as this.